Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I apologize. Thank you for joining me. We are going, excuse me, we are going to learn all about the Google Certified Educator Exam Level 1, the why, what, and how. My name is Melissa Matthews, and I'm here with
Gail Sigalakis. Welcome.
And we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the Google certification exam if you just stick with us. So before we get started, I want to just walk you through probably what you're viewing and how to view it a little bit nicer. So you're probably at the weekly webinar website. And if you scroll down, you're seeing that here's the live viewer and here's the website. If you click on the YouTube link, it will take you to the YouTube site, which you will then see the chat window on the side, and you'll see where I gave you the link to sign in for your attendance. Also, you're going to see how this is very blurry. If you'd like to see it clearly, which I'm assuming you do, click the gear for me and go to quality, and then go ahead and go to the 720p. When you do that, look how beautiful it looks. So hopefully that helps you in your viewing capabilities. And we're going to go back to our presentation now and start working our way through it. So number one question, excuse me, why? Why do you want to become Google certified? Well, if you are a classroom teacher, we are offering Trailblazer slots to different schools. So in a nutshell, the way this works is based on funding. We get X amount of dollars. We divide it up amongst the schools, and we determine that school A can get 6 Trailblazers. School B can get 5 Trailblazers based on capacity and student enrollment, etc. We try and make it as equitable as humanly possible. And we then tell that principal, hey, this year you have X amount of Trailblazer nominees that you can suggest to become a Trailblazer. Those Trailblazer nominees need to become Google certified educators, and they need to attend a 2-day training over the summer. Once both of those are accomplished, they then get a class set of Chromebooks for their use in their classroom at their school site. So it is based on the school. So the devices belong to the school, not the teacher, but it is able to stay with the teacher no matter what grade they're in for the remainder of their time at that school. So once you become that Trailblazer, it's a pretty cool thing to do. If you are not at a school site, why would you want to become a Trailblazer? Well, I know many directors and chiefs who look at the job qualifications, and if someone is Google certified, that means that they know the Google suite, they're able to use it and manipulate it and improve their workforce or work ethic so that they're more efficient. Thank you. I was looking for that word. So that is definitely something that you probably want to become so that you become more marketable in case you ever want to move around or change careers or even just become more proficient in your day-to-day activities. It's definitely something that you would probably want to look into. So how? Well, you will go into ELM, e-learning management. There is a class called Google Fundamentals Level 1. There's also a Level 2 class. And in that, in that Level 1 class, there are 13 sections that you will work on at your own pace. For completing those 13 sections, you will be awarded 15 points if you turn in proof. And then if you take that certification exam and pass, you are awarded another 5 points for a total of up to 20 points total. So let's look at that real quick. If I escape out of here and I go to just Google fundamentals educate or training, I guess will work because it came right up. You can see that there's the teacher center. And when I go there, It's going to ask you to log in if you're not already. So it's going to say sign in. So once I sign in, and make sure you sign in because that will track your completion of the work. If you're not signed in, it will not track it. So please make sure. And notice that now I have all those green checks because I've already done this coursework. So you can see there are 13 units that you will go through. Each unit will take you through a series of skill building activities and some questions at the end. Those questions are very similar to what you're going to see on the exam. So make sure that you are confident in your ability to answer those questions. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. So the ELM class is basically saying, go through this 13 section practice, take screenshots of all those green checks, which is why it's so important that you sign in, and turn it in and take the exam, pass it, and you will get those 20 points. So that is the ELM class. Also note that in that ELM class in section 6, there is a voucher request. So if you wish to take that Google certification exam, we will pay for it. It is $10. We will pay for it, and it will allow you to take it for free. Also, there are Brett Petrillo videos, a Google Skills checklist, and study sessions. So if we go out of here and we go to Trailblazers, and whether you're a Trailblazer or not, you're welcome to go to this site, palmbeachschools.org. So it's trailblazers.palmbeachschools.org. You're typing that for me. Under training, there's a Google Certification Educator Level 1 page. On here is basically everything you're going to need to know and everything I'm going to talk about in this class. So as I scroll down, you're going to see how to prepare for the test, support things for the test. Here's a skills checklist that is going to show you, it's a Google Drive document. And it's going to say you need to be able to create a file in Google Drive, access a file in Google Drive, organize your files. So each of these things you are going to need to be proficient in so that you can go ahead and get through that exam. Also on this page, you're going to see all these videos. A gentleman by the name of Brett Petrillo, he is a Google certified educator or trainer, I'm sorry, made these videos, and you can see this is on Sheets, this is on Forms. So go to the icon of the application that you need help in and go ahead and watch that video. Note that most of the videos are around 40, 45 minutes or so. So be mindful that, it is time consuming, but also know that Brett talks like this. So if you want to speed him up, all you're going to do is go to that bottom gear. Oop, you have to get past the ad real quick. Hold on, skip ad. And then go to that gear and see where the speed is. You can make him talk faster if you wish to. That will help speed up how much time you have to use or spend listening to Brett. But everyone I know of who has watched his videos have said nothing but phenomenal, responses and, how great his videos were and how much they helped everyone. So it's definitely something you may want to watch if you're looking into taking this exam. If we go back here, so I shared with you the videos, I shared with you the checklist. There are also Google study sessions. So February 23rd is a Saturday. It is the next Google study session. It is here at the district office from 8 to 12. You can sign up in ELM and it is free. And it will allow you to get a lot of insider tricks and tips on how to pass that exam. So in addition to what I'm telling you now, we will go through each of the different applications and help you with some general ideas on how to get through. Basically, we work you through that skills checklist and help you through the skills needed in order to be successful on that exam. So I encourage you to attend that study session. Our first year of Trailblazers, we did not have the first year we did not have a study session, and I will tell you that the failure rate was high. Now that we do have that study session, a lot of people are successful in passing that exam on the first try. So I highly encourage you to attend that. I see that someone says the Petrilla videos are not useful because they're not up to date. However, a lot of the things are very, very similar, and I think that they will be very helpful. So I encourage you to still look through them and take a gander. So the format of the exam, it is 20 multi-select questions. So that means that the questions that were in that teacher center in the Google Fundamentals class, those 20 multi-select questions are very similar in nature to the questions you're going to see on the practice. The biggest difference is in the practice, it says check all that apply. And on the exam, it says pick 3, pick 4. So you know exactly how many to select, which is a little bit helpful. The next part of the exam, you have 11 scenarios. So scenario number 1 might be go into Google Classroom, create a class, add these students, add this assignment, add this co-teacher, make an announcement. So it will be 5 to 7 steps or so in each of the scenarios, and each scenario is on a different Google application. And YouTube is a Google application. So YouTube will or may be part or may be a scenario that you will encounter. The exam is 3 hours, and you will use every second of those 3 hours. It is intense. It is a real test. They want, if you're going to become a Google certified educator, you will know your stuff or you will not pass it. I encourage you to use the restroom, grab snacks, turn off your phone, make sure you are uninterrupted, make sure you have a secure internet connection. If it's about to thunderstorm, you may want to wait, because if you lose that connectivity, you fail the exam. And I don't want anyone to have to fail the exam because of a thunderstorm. You also need to have a webcam. So the very first thing that the test asks you to do is take a picture of yourself. Once that picture is taken, then randomly, you don't even know what's happening throughout the test, that webcam turns on and off, and it makes sure that the person in the camera is still the person taking the exam. So be mindful that, they are watching, Big Brother. The last thing that's really important is if you are a right-click copy, right-click paste person, stop it right now. On the exam, that does not work. The only way to copy and paste is to Control-C to copy or Control-V to paste. If you are on an Apple device, it is Command-C to copy and Command-V to paste. There are portions of this test where it asks you to copy and paste things and put certain paragraphs or phrases or what have you in other things. If you need to manually type all of that because you can't remember Control-C, Control-V, you will more than likely run out of room. Linda, I don't know what room the study session is in, but it is an ELM. So when you sign up for the Trailblazer study session, it will tell you where it is on February 23rd.
Changes.
Yeah, it changes every
session,
month.
yeah.
And so I'm not 100%. It's either in the Thurbers or the boardroom. I'm just not sure which. Okay, so budgeting your time is a huge one. So I said it was 3 hours. It'll take every minute. Preparing for the exam is also important. So for example, the voucher. A voucher is good for 30 days. After 30 days, it goes stale. It doesn't go bad. So if 30 days comes and goes and you haven't taken that exam, email whoever sent it to you and ask them to reissue it or reactivate it, and we can do that. So never waste a voucher. The vouchers, like I said, are good for 30 days. We ask that you give us 24 to 48 hours to receive your voucher. Mike Goldstein and I are the people that receive your request on the form. We then make sure that you haven't already taken that exam, or actually we haven't already received a voucher, and then we go ahead and issue you a voucher. You then have the voucher. There's also on the email that comes with the voucher number a list of how to sign up for the exam, how to tell us that you passed the exam, and all the things to do in between. So once we give you the voucher, you then go to Google. So that's where Palm Beach County kind of dies off and stops. We no longer have anything to do with the test after this point. Now you're in Google's hands. So if you go to Google, according to the directions on the voucher, it'll tell you, go to this site and register for your exam. When you register for the exam, Google requests that you give them 24 to 48 hours to receive your testing credentials. Once you receive those testing credentials, let's pretend that that email hits your inbox at 3:18 on Tuesday. At 3:19, a week from Tuesday, 7 days later, if you have not taken that exam yet, you have failed. They are very, very strict with that. So you have exactly 7 days to the minute to take that exam. If you are 7 days and 5 minutes, you failed. So make sure that you take that exam within those 7 days. If you take it and pass it, on the email with your voucher is a form for you to fill out to let us know that you took it and you passed it, and we will add you to the list of certified educators for Palm Beach County. If you take it and fail it, you are welcome to try again. Google makes you wait 14 days before they allow you to take the exam a second time. Unfortunately, we only have one voucher for each person in the county, so we are unable to give you a second. However, it is only $10. So then let's pretend, or pray you don't, so you've taken the exam, you've failed it. You have to wait 14 days. You take it again, you're not successful again. You have to wait 60 days before you take it again. If you fail it again after 60 days, they make you wait 365 days. Yes, my friends, one whole year before they allow you to take it again. They want serious people taking their exam. Okay, so the first waiting period is 14, then 60, then a year. So hopefully, with all this stuff and all the power we're giving you and prep work we're giving you, you will take and pass it on the first try. And like I said, those of you that attend the Google study session, the majority of people that do pass on the first try. We currently have 1,450 people that are Google certified educators in Palm Beach County, which is very, very impressive. If we go back to our Trailblazer website, at the bottom, you will see after you pass, click here to share your Google certificate showing us that you passed. Once you do that, you will be added to the list of Google certified educators. That list is what the superintendent looks at. It's what your principals look at. It's what we look at. And we know that we're about 100 people off from what we have compared to what Google has. So you can see we have 1324 and Google has 1450. So we are about 125 people off. So if you know that your friend is Google certified and their name is not on here, please, oh please, have them go and fill out that form so that we will make sure that they get on that list. Okay. So Two things that will help you greatly on the test. When you take the exam, they want you to be in an incognito window. So what that means is I'm going to go up to the top right of my Chrome browser. Do not take a Google test in anything other than a Google Chrome browser. So in my Google Chrome browser, in the top right, I'm going to click those three little dots, the snowmen, and I'm going to go to New Incognito Window. When I do that, I'm going to see the little guy. He went over there. I'm going to see the little guy with the sunglasses and the hat, the little spy guy. I'm going to see him over here as well. And I'm going to see that this top bar compared to this top bar is dark. That's going to clue me in that I'm in the incognito browser. I'm going to go ahead and log on to Google. So I'm going to go to the Google page. Spell it right. I'm going to sign in with my Google test credentials. Once I sign in with my Google test credentials, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to sign out of my Google Chrome. I'm going to sign out of all of this. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to sign out and I'm going to make sure that the only thing I'm signed in on is my incognito window and nothing else. The number two things that people mess up on or have issues on, the two main reasons why people fail. A, they run out of time. B, they complete the exercises in their account, not in the test account. So all of a sudden they're making a calendar appointment and they see their own calendar instead of the test user's calendar. They're in the wrong place. It doesn't count. It only counts if you're in the test user account. So be very, very careful. Okay. Pat wanted to know what the Trailblazer web address is. It's
Trail. I just posted it.
Oh. You put, here's the link. Gail got you.
It's interesting. Mine shows up. You don't have it. Did your?
I have live chat. Yeah.
It's in my chat.
Maybe it's. I don't know. Trailblazers.palmbeachschools.org. Okay. So there you go. So that's the incognito window. Pinning tabs. I actually work this way all day long, every day. So I have my mail open. I have my calendar open. And those two things I use every day, all day, nonstop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and pin the tab. This right click does work on the exam. So right click, pin tab. Notice it moved all the way over. Also know that that X went away. So when you were taking that exam, right click and pin that tab and know that you can use this every day. So like for me, for my workflow, you will look at my computer at any time and it will always say, you know, I will always have those two, at least those two pinned and tabbed and ready to go. To unpin the tab, I'm going to reverse that operation. So right click, unpin tab, same spot, and the same thing over here, right click, unpin tab. So why do I suggest you do that? When you're taking the exam, you are going to open up Classroom. You're going to open up YouTube. You're going to open up all sorts of different Google applications. And when you're done with them, you're going to X them out. Well, I don't want you to X out the test by accident, because if you do, you have exactly 5 minutes to get back in. And it will take a minute because you're in an incognito window. You can't just reopen everything that you just had. You have to actually go back in, sign in, remember your username and password, the test username and password, which is not your normal one, and you have to get back in. So if you have pinned that tab, again, right click, pin tab, the X goes away and you can't possibly close that window by mistake. So I highly encourage you to pin those tabs. Make your life easy. When you pass the exam, you are going to complete that form at the bottom, and we talked about that already. It's at the bottom of the Trailblazer website. So you're going to complete that form and let me and the whole county know that you have passed that exam. So make sure you do that. Again, you take the test from Google. Google gives you the certificate, the credentials. Google grades it. Google scores it. Google gives you your certificate. We have no idea unless you complete this form. So please make sure you do. And that's really all for the Google certification exam. I highly encourage you come to that study session. Your homework for this class is due March 12th. You need to attend the training, which you're here, you did. You need to submit a screenshot showing that you either enrolled or participated in that ELM fundamentals class, or you are working in that Google Teacher Center, and you need to complete that professional development survey in ELM in order to get credit for these classes. I will also mention that if you take and pass Google certification, the Google Educator Level 1 class, I highly encourage you to go ahead and do 2. We have vouchers as well in ELM for the Level 2, and it is simple compared to 1. I would make sure that if I just took 1, I would go ahead and take 2 because it's fresh in your mind. But definitely do 2 if you are successful in 1. Our next class is Blender with Jonathan Decker. And as I'm going to paste the link for our survey for you, for our PD Ed Tech Evaluation Survey. Some of you are very familiar with Blender and you use it all the time. Blender is, for those of you that are not aware, is the lesson plan repository for the county. Jonathan Decker is a little whiz kid. He knows everything and anything about Blender and has so many tips and tricks to share with you. So I highly encourage you to attend that Blender webinar if you use Blender, to learn some quick ways to use it and easy methodologies to get through finding those lesson plans. And that's all. Thank you so much for coming. A minute to spare. Any questions, go ahead and type them in that chat window, or you're welcome to email either me or Gail. Our emails are up there. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Tuesday.